What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. It's episode number 108, and finally, yes, we are starting today's episode off with some pure joy from yours truly, because Bilbao Arteta finally, after a long time, has managed to complete his conversion from left back to left midfield. Absolutely buzzing. We know we got him from those, I think it was high medium work rates he had initially. Now he's showing to the high and high. Stamina is 87, but now the position change has been completed. He's official left midfielder. We're going to give him the inverted wide midfielder development plan. It will change week for up from 4-star to 5-star, and some of the finishing stats as well, because we know like those inside forwards in this Barcelona team. But yeah, Bilbao Arteta now officially a left midfielder. So what we should see now is that in the starting 11, when he gets the game time, he does get quite a bit of it. He won't have a minus next to his name and what will be a temporary decrease in attributes, but instead it should hopefully show now an increase, and he should be able to develop a lot quicker now he's being played in his official position, which is now left midfield. Finally. But still, for the first game of 5 in today's episode, massive one here. Champions League, round of 16, first leg against Liverpool. So many historic clashes between these two teams over the years in Europe. But how about this just 4 minutes in? Oh, I felt so guilty. I felt so bad because I just could not understand how this was a penalty. Yes, trying to go for the cutback with Leandro after I was sprinting out of play. Panicked, just about saw a bit of contact between Alisson and our French forward, but really, was it a penalty? Absolutely not. Not in my opinion. No way, Jose, would that be a penalty. But in the olden days, in my very old days of FIFA CM, when I get a penalty which to me just did not seem to be a penalty, I would miss it intentionally. I would smash it way wide or over the bar, and I'll just give the ball back to the AI for a goal kick. A few people didn't like me doing that. They said it kind of broke immersion a little bit. So what I decided to do now is chip the penalty down the middle, so the goalkeeper has a much higher chance of saving it. But of course, sometimes they'll dive one way or the other, left or right, and therefore it will go in. But even so, that time it did go in. Alisson dives to his right, I think it was, and a simple finish for Fati from the spot saw us take the lead. Jota levelled though, right before the, not right before the break, but it fell halfway the first half. Jota levels a former Wolves man, got the Reds back in the game. So 1-1, and I know it sounds kind of stupid, but I was kind of glad they did find the equaliser because I felt so dirty leading by a goal after that stupid penalty. But in the second half, nothing lucky about this goal. Ansu Fati storming down left, stepping infield, shoot on his right, as he loves to do, gets his second of the game and makes it 2-1. And with 22 minutes to go, a chance to extend our goal cushion to 2. Dembele rolled forward, takes his time with the fake shot, steps in field, looks to shoot, instead it gets blocked, comes back to De Jong, who fires just wide as we look for the dagger to kill this contest off. But I knew this was going to be a tough game heading into it. You know, we finished runners up in our group, Liverpool won theirs, and I knew this would be a real challenge. Liverpool were not going to lie down and just accept defeat. Not when we went 1-0 up, not when we went 2-1 up, and that's why with 13.5 minutes to go, I wasn't surprised to see this. The former Bayern midfielder Leon Goretzka sent forward one-on-one, coolly slots it into the bottom corner, and for the second time in the game, Liverpool battled back from a goal down to claim a big draw away at the Nou Camp, and of course those crucial 2 away goals as well. We've talked about it. We know that the away goal rule is scrapped and is being scrapped in European competitions. Obviously, we've given our opinions on that, whether we agree with it or not. I guess it's really just subjective, isn't it? But even so, they still exist in the game. No matter how many seasons we've played, they still exist. So heading back to Anfield, Liverpool are the favourites to make it through to the quarterfinals. If we don't score at Anfield, we are heading home in the first knockout round. No pressure. But still, for the second game of today's episode, I thought, right, I was so frustrated after that 2-2 draw there. I felt as though I should have won it. I felt guilty about the penalty, but felt as though I should have managed to find a third goal in the second half. That De Jong miss was really poor. So heading into this game against Atletico Madrid here, with the closest title rivals to us right now as we go for our back-to-back La Liga titles, taking on Diego Simeone's side here, the only team that have beaten us so far in La Liga. I got to be honest, I was looking for revenge in this game. So we took a very early lead into it and then won ourselves a penalty 9 minutes before the break. This one, not quite as bizarre a penalty award as the one against Liverpool. In fact, this one I would definitely say was a penalty. Justin Bieler tripping up on Ansu Fati after his quick little smart back heel. Simeone couldn't believe it, but to me, that one was the right call. So I thought the Liverpool one wasn't a penalty, but I thought this one definitely was. So Ansu Fati to take it, looking for his second penalty goal in 2 games. And I'm not the best penalty taker in the world, as you guys know, as you've seen in this year's FIFA and the year before as well, but it found the back of the net. That's the most important thing. Where I was aiming there, even I don't know. I mean, it started off as left, then it was sort of like maybe a bit to the right, and it just went right down the middle. It found the back of the net. Certainly wasn't intended to go down the middle, but hey, it found the back of the net. 2-0 Barcelona as Fati gets our second. In the second half, Atletico tried to hit back and get back in the game, just like Liverpool did in midweek, inspired with that performance from Klopp's side there, looking for a route back into the game, and a couple of good chances fell in the second half too. But I've talked about it before, this is the importance of having a really high rated goalkeeper in your team. When your back line is breached, you know, one-on-ones are scored so frequently against the AI on Ultimate, they're always going to hit the target, so you need a goalkeeper that every now and then can pull off a save. Ter Stegen pulled off 2 in the same game. Most of the time they'll find the back of the net. Doesn't matter how good your goalkeeper is, but in this game Ter Stegen made 2 brilliant saves to keep us still leading by 2-0, showcasing the importance there of a high rated goalkeeper. And his stoppage time after Justin Bilo made an incredible double save of his own. Junior Firth whips in a great cross in the middle, and there is De Jong to tap in from close range, make it free, and wrap the points up as well. Look, our chances of winning the quadruple have taken a massive blow after that first leg result against Liverpool. But the new points record is still on. We know 100 is the current record as Pedri is coming back from injury. Can we get to 101 plus? Well, if we're going to do that, we need to win every single one of our remaining games. We can afford one slip up, but that slip up has to be a draw minimum. We can't afford any more losses between now and the end of the season. Do that and we won't set a new points record. So win every game but one, and we'll need to draw the other one we don't win, or win every single game remaining in La Liga. It's the only way we can set a new points record. We know after that win there against Atletico, La Liga title looks very much certain to be ours to throw away now, just like it was at this stage last season. But again, we want that points record as well. What we also want to do is retain the Copa del Rey as well. And after our victory over Espanyol in the first leg by 4-0, the second leg I threw a backup side out there and still managed to get the win by a single goal to set up a Barcelona Real Madrid final in an El Clasico Copa del Rey final. It was on the wall, man. Every single round we got through, I kept on thinking, have we got Real Madrid? Because if we haven't, I feel confident that the further we go, they'll match our wins and we'll go all the way and probably face each other in the final. Surprise, surprise, it's exactly what's happened. Is there been draw fixing there by the Spanish FA? Not entirely sure, but hey, Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey final. Last year we bullied Atletico Madrid in the final and won 4-0. I think this might be a little bit tougher this season. Real Madrid have really fallen off the pace domestically after we arrived at Barcelona last season. They'll be desperate to reclaim that Copa del Rey we took from them last year. So for the first game of March, taking on Real Valladolid away from home, I'll always remember these guys as the ones that gave me a rude awakening to La Liga. But taking them on, first game with Barcelona last season, thought it would be a walkover, and we lost 2-1. Well, they came from behind to win it. So every time I face them now, I always remember that game and think, right, I don't want to repeat of what happened on match day 1 last season. So into the game, Fati scored our first and Leandro bagged our second. We went 2 goals up in the first half. But these guys are quite tricky to play against, I'll be honest here. And as Wesley finds Perez here, still leading by 2. Their pass accuracy is really high. Couldn't really get the ball often. They played some really good football. They found very small gaps in our defence and managed to get themselves a goal back right after the hour mark as well. But thankfully, we would hold on for the 2-1 win. That's something I'm noticing quite a lot this season as well. And I mentioned it before, I am finding it harder to beat the teams that you'd expect to be bankers, if you know what I mean. In those sort of games that you think, close to a 3-4-0 victory, but instead, it's a lot more difficult this season. I mentioned it many times before, but I'm liking it. It's more challenging to get the wins, but we're grinding out victories in these sort of games, and that's the most important thing. So, big 2-1 win there, keeps our points record hopes alive for the 5th and final game of today's episode here. This one being before our trip to Anfield in midweek in the second leg of the Champions League last 16. Osasuna at home. Devastating news. 7 minutes in, Ansu Fati goes down after an altercation, hits the deck, and thankfully he would get up, never shook off the injury. So just a few minutes after that, as Dembele bagged his 5th goal of the season and 1st of the game, I thought, right, I'm taking no chances. Fati's not going to run off the injury, so don't risk it getting hampered. Take him off now. On comes Juan Martinez, a teenager, and Fati is put on the bench. Wrap this guy up in cotton wool, because if we're going to beat Liverpool in midweek, I need the guy fit to play. So Fati comes off, Martinez comes on, and 24 minutes into the game, he's involved in another bizarre penalty decision. Ruben Vezo goes for the block on Martinez, takes him down unintentionally, and Ruben, I'm sorry, bro. I feel sorry for you, just like I felt sorry for Alisson. Is that really a penalty? I mean, you see the arm swing there, the right elbow in the face maybe, but come on. It's just an unintentional collision. He's trying to block the shot. He doesn't, but it's not a penalty, not in my book, no doubt about it. He's just trying to block the shot. The momentum of Martinez carries him through to the Portuguese defender. To me, never a spot kick. So once again, we chip it down the middle, and I couldn't believe it as well. Third penalty in 5 games. I rarely ever win penalties nowadays, but third in 5, and 2 of them weren't penalties, not in my book either, but Leandro chips down the middle, and once again, we find the back of the net. I've always been quite a poor penalty taker, but I can't believe I'm saying this, but I've scored 3 straight now, and 2 I wasn't even trying to score. But anyway, 2-0 Barcelona, and in the second half, right before the hour mark here, Juan Martinez bagged our 3rd goal. Come off the bench for Ansu Fati, does the flex celebration as we go 3-0 up, and that was how the game would finish. So big 3-0 win there, and I'll say once again, the new points record is still a possibility. But our quadruple dreams have taken a major blow. Whilst Fati's injury is only a 6-day one, it will keep him out of the trip to Anfield on Tuesday night. And our chances of getting through Liverpool now, needing to score away in the northwest of England, have taken a major blow. But that will end today's episode of the Realistic Career Mode, guys. So a big thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed it, and if you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Realistic CM, as we do have the second leg away against Liverpool very soon.